India is a market dominated by the budget segment. When you talk of laptops, there are a plethora of options out there. As such, choosing the best budget laptop for you can be a tedious task. Thankfully, the Lenovo IdeaPad 330S just so happens to be my perfect recommendation for a budget laptop for just about everyone out there. Hey guys, this is Varun from Mr. Phone, and this is my review of the Lenovo IdeaPad 330S, which is, to be honest, the perfect budget laptop out there. Well, let's get started. Okay, so when you talk about the requirements from a good budget laptop, there are a couple of things to be noted. You want a good display, a great battery life, a lightweight design, a fast processor, and plenty of storage. And well, if you're being too demanding, why not throw in some dedicated graphics as well? Thankfully, the Lenovo IdeaPad 330S comes in a slew of configurations to offer all of it. You get to configure it up to an Intel i7 processor, up to 12 GB of RAM, up to 2 TB of hard disk or 256 GB of PCI SSD storage, and even choose between the Radeon 540 or the 535 GPU for graphics. All of this while adding on a 7-hour battery life. Now, in terms of design, the laptop is pretty minimalistic. You get a plain back with the Lenovo branding hiding on the sides. The laptop weighs just 1.7 kgs, so it is quite lightweight as well. Once you open up the lid, you'll notice the thin bezels as well. Yes, there is a massive chin down there, but at this price point, you get a lot of positives, so I'll let that pass. Inside this frame is the 14-inch display. On the base variant, this display would come with an HD resolution of 1366 by 768 pixels. However, if you spend a little bit more, the display is upgraded to a 14-inch Full HD IPS LED display. The colors here look pretty good, and even the viewing angles are great, which is something not a lot of budget laptops can boast about. Now, in terms of I/O, Lenovo has been pretty generous with the IdeaPad 330S. On the left side, you get the DC charging port followed by an HDMI port, a USB 3.0 port, a USB Type-C port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right side, you get a Kensington lock, another USB 3.0 port, and an SD card reader. Honestly, this leaves nothing to complain about. Moving on, Lenovo is known for its keyboards, and the IdeaPad 330S manages to mostly live up to that fame. It comes with a decent key travel, and the keystrokes feel just fine. There is also an option to get a backlit keyboard, which is great. The grey keys have the signature Lenovo curve, which feels nice to the fingertips. The only complaint that I have with the keyboard is that the overall feedback is not that good. I mean, after typing for a long period of time, which is something that I do quite regularly here at Mr. Phone, you really want to take a break. Now, your mileage may vary, and that is not to say that the keyboard is bad. In fact, I would still give this keyboard a 9 out of 10 rating, which is pretty damn good. Moving on, the touchpad here isn't bad either. It comes with Windows Precision drivers, and all the gestures work just as you would expect. I do wish that the touchpad was a bit bigger, considering that they did have a lot of space to play around with. In terms of performance, our unit here comes with an Intel i5 8250U processor coupled with 4 GB of RAM. There's 128 GB of SSD along with 1 TB of hard disk as well. The overall performance on this laptop seems to be pretty damn good as well. I mean, Windows booted up in no time, and even after opening 20 of Chrome tabs, there wasn't any stuttering or lag anywhere. Now, our unit here does not come with a dedicated graphics card, so you cannot really use it for gaming. Or can you? I did try PUBG Lite and CSGO on this laptop, and both the games work just fine. So, I mean, you can do a little bit of gaming on the side. The thermals on this laptop are pretty good too. Despite having a single fan design, the laptop never crossed the 80-degree mark, which is just great. Lastly, there's the battery. So the Lenovo IdeaPad 330S comes equipped with a 52.5 watt-hour battery, which the company claims should last you 7 hours of battery life. Now, that isn't a very big claim, but sadly the laptop does not even last that claim either. In my normal testing of web browsing, listening to music on Spotify, and playing a little bit of games here and there, the laptop managed to give me a battery life of about 4.5 hours, which is pretty decent. To be fair, with the right balance and the correct power profiles, you should be able to get around 5 hours of battery life with the IdeaPad 330S. That said, it does mean that you'll have to carry the charger with you. So, is the IdeaPad 330S worth it? Duh, I mean, I've spent the entire video telling you just how good the laptop is. But I just want to take some time telling you what the best SKU out there would be. So first off, just get a laptop with at least 128 GB of SSD. It's 2019 guys, and running Windows off an HDD is a crime. It's gonna be super slow, so just spend a little bit more and get a 128 GB SSD to get that super oomph in the performance aspect. Similarly, spend that extra amount of money on the Core i7 processor only if you need it. And the same goes for the graphics card as well. Only if you want to do some gaming on the side. Get the graphics card variant only if you want to do some gaming on the side. To be honest, for most users out there, our review unit with the Core i5 processor and 4 GB of RAM should be enough. I mean, you may want to upgrade to an 8 GB of RAM later on, but for most users, that is the variant to go for. Well, that was my review of the IdeaPad 330S. If you like the product, make sure to check out the buying link in the description box below. And if you like the product, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Well, that's me signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.